Toilet paper.
Toilet Pokemon? That's close. You're close. Any other? No?
Hygiene.
It's a bidet.
Yeah, bidet.
Alright. Hello everyone. I'm Hanzala Khalid, and these are my partners.
Last name. Ayan Khan.
And today we're going to be presenting why the bidet is the only way. Now, my partner is going to explain what is a bidet.
So many of you guys here know what a bidet is, but for those who don't know, it's a plumbing fixture. It's popular in Europe, Asia, and the Middle East. And it's usually associated with being with the high class, like in the 1700s, but we're not in the 1700s anymore, so yeah.
So it's affordable now. It's not only for the wealthy like it was back in the day.
Yes, there's numerous types of bidets. Some of them are much more affordable than others, and we will be going over the more affordable options. Alright, so as for the types of bidets, the ones that we're focusing on are the non-electric bidet attachments. Now, the reason we're going for non-electric is because it's cheaper, and bidet attachments can already be attached to pre-existing toilets. That means less infrastructure, less money is going into this.
And to be clear, you don't have to redo your plumbing. You can just put it on the toilet that you already have.
Yes.
Okay. This is your side.
Alright, so the difference between bidet and bidet attachments, both of them offer hygiene solutions, and both of them are very similar. However, bidets are much more expensive, as we've said before, and bidet attachments can be attached to pre-existing toilets. They're easier to install, and while bidets are more luxurious, bidet attachments provide a very similar experience. You are not compromising your hygiene by using them. Typical price is around $39 to $199, while a normal bidet is much more expensive. Zone will speak to this. He has a bidet.
Yeah, it was expensive. It was over $500, I think, just for the seat.
Yes, exactly. A bidet attachment is a much better alternative if you're on a budget.
Which my bidet is a toilet seat that is hooked up to water and electric,
Yes.
basically.
Yeah. Now, what have we done to provide awareness of bidets? Well, as many of you know, we distributed petitions. We made an AI song to promote the product, which you will hear at the end of our presentation. We researched the topic thoroughly. We have numerous sources. We've educated numerous people about the topic of bidets and why they should be in the schools. Numerous people who didn't even know about bidets and were against putting them into the school have changed their minds and have realized that putting bidet attachments into the school is a better solution.
Specifically, we have over 70 people who have signed the petition, and for many of those people, at first they weren't comfortable with having bidets attached. However, when we educated them thoroughly and we talked to them, they realized that the bidet is indeed the only way, and they signed a petition.
Yes.
Oh, you guys have a slogan. Bidets are
Bidet is the only way. Alright, so bidets just offer much better hygiene than toilet paper. Toilet paper, you have a risk of UTIs, you have a risk of hemorrhoids. With bidets, you don't have any of that. And as this meme and this data will show you, it's beneficial for people who have disabilities, especially with bidet attachments where there's buttons. With toilet paper, although it's not, I hope it's not hard for all of us to just reach for the toilet paper. For some people, it may be more difficult. With bidet attachments, there's just with a click of a button, the water sprays. And if you don't believe this about the hygiene, let me show you.
We're doing this now.
Yeah, we're doing. Yeah, this is the slide we did it on. Remember?
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
All right. So, okay. So should I do this here? Or?
No, bro. You.
I'll do it here. All right. So a lot of you may be wondering, why does he have an ice cream bowl? What correlation does this have with bidets and toilets? Well. I got it. Okay, so my face is completely covered with ice cream right now. Now you may still be confused. To show you, this is toilet paper that I got from the actual school. This is what you're using to wipe yourself, if you wipe yourself. now, I know some of you are nasty. Don't try to deny it. Now I'm going to try and wipe with this. Look at this. Look at this. It's getting all over. It's spreading to my face. It's not adequate. With water, this whole thing would be gone. Last time I did this in my period 6 class, I came back, my face was clean. Guess what I used to clean my face? Water. When I'm going to leave the classroom right now to wash my face, I'm using water. I'm not using toilet paper. If you were to step on, let's say, dog poop, are you going to wipe your foot with a tissue paper or are you going to wash it? I think most of you are gonna wash it. Now I'm gonna leave the room and I'm gonna have these two present the next few slides.
Alright. Moving on. Aside from the hygiene benefits that Hansela has clearly demonstrated just now, there are also environmental benefits to using bidets. For example, even though bidets use water, they consume a lot less water throughout their lifetime than toilet paper does, which requires water for them to be made. Furthermore, toilet paper contains chemicals such as those Hansela mentioned that can be detrimental to humans. They can cause problems such as UTIs. Furthermore, we also know that it's better for the skin to use bidets than it is to use toilet paper, and we have researched thoroughly, and later we will cite our sources that will prove that these things are indeed true. Also, Hansela kind of mentioned this with being able to reach for the toilet paper and stuff like that. Bidets also provide for improved accessibility as compared to toilet paper. For example, they're easier to use. You just press a button and like everything is done. You don't gotta reach for it and then like put it and then like do all that stuff. Furthermore, it's hands-free. You know, you don't gotta get your hands dirty. So that's also a benefit. There's independence and dignity. You know, some people they have disabilities that prevent them from like cleaning themselves. Yes, full range of motion. So bidets allow them to like do their business by themselves without any outside assistance. Also, there's cost-saving benefits. There's reduced toilet paper usage, obviously, because you're cleaning yourself with the bidets. However, you're probably still going to need the toilet paper to dry, maybe the toilet seat or yourself. However, you're going to use much less toilet paper than you did before, and later we're going to show you a graph that shows that using bidets indeed costs less than using toilet paper on average. And there's also potential water savings that I mentioned before. Yes, I got it. According to the New York Post, Americans are flushing $11,198 per year on average on toilet paper. In contrast, that's enough money to buy a sedan, a Rolex or a Tiffany and Co. engagement ring. Furthermore, a recent survey of 2,000 Americans found that the average respondent spent $182 on toilet paper a year, and that price has increased since COVID-19 started by $15, and it's probably gone up even more.
So yeah, here's the graph. This is for only like one person per year, one person. And I know many of you guys got families. If you don't, I'm sorry. Yeah.
All right, so here are the costs for bidet attachments. As we discussed previously, this is much cheaper than a regular bidet. The most expensive one is $120 and $149. With bidets, they are much more expensive. And as I'm sure my partners have discussed thoroughly, toilet paper, on average, would be more expensive than this if you're spending it yearly. This is just a much more affordable option. It's a much more hygienic option, and it provides a more safe bathroom environment for all.
And it's accessible to everyone.
Yes, exactly. For people with disabilities, for people, even people with religious and cultural restrictions, this is more useful.
Religious restrictions from wiping their heinies?
Yeah. Okay. So, although it's not completely forbidden to use toilet paper in Islam, using water is much more promoted in that religion.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's more friendly, it coincides better
yes,
with
it
the
coincides
practices.
With the religion, and I'm sure that numerous people in this school, even in this classroom, are Muslim. All right.
Okay, long-term savings. The yearly cost of toilet paper is $120 to $180 per person. However, bidets, the bidet attachments that we're recommending the school use, cost approximately $20 to $30 per usage per person. Obviously, this is far less than toilet paper, and even when you take repairs into account, because obviously if you're installing bidet attachments, you're going to need someone to come over every once in a while to make sure everything's fine and fix everything up. Even when you're taking those costs into account, it still costs less than toilet paper. 5-year cost, toilet paper costs $600 to $900 on average per person. and bidets, including the initial costs, utilities, and repairs, costs approximately 350 to 1,000. And it's important to know that this cost, 350 to 1,000, is for bidets specifically, not for bidet attachments. The bidet attachments that we're going to use cost even less than this.
Yes, so it's even more affordable yearly. Now, customer satisfaction. People who use bidets often find themselves not wanting to go back to toilet paper. They often find themselves saying that bidets feel much more hygienic, feel much more luxurious. They feel much more clean after using it. It's like a mini shower. Customers are often satisfied. There's a very broad audience, as we discussed before. Well, look at this cat. He's so satisfied. That's going to be you when you have a bidet. Now, how would we implement this policy? Well, we're going to look at a country, Italy, a country that Bizone is very familiar with. Now, Italy, actually, since 1975, there's been a requirement that a bidet has to be installed into houses in real estate. Now, we could do something similar for not even just the real estate homes, although that would be very nice. We could just do it for just this school. It would be much more easy to implement, and there's numerous kids here. There's numerous people who may be at risk or may need bidets for either cultural reasons or even convenience reasons. Now,
No. Before we do the song, I would like to call up Mr. Anu Tedsfra to do a demonstration for us. Do you would like to interview him for our project? We discussed this. Come on. Okay. We're gonna interview Hansla.
Yes. Okay. I'm the spokesperson, so you can interview me. You can interview anything you want. Just any question.
Okay. You come here.
Alright, you're gonna.
We're just gonna ask one question, okay?
All right.
Okay, Mr. Hansla Khalid.
Yes.
We understand that you are a very strong proponent of bidets.
Yes,
Do you
I am.
personally use bidets? And if you do, how satisfied are you with them as compared to toilet paper?
Yes, I personally use bidets, and I am much more satisfied with them than in comparison to toilet paper. With bidets, I feel clean. I feel ready. I feel ready to stand up every day. With bidets, with toilet paper, I feel stiff. I don't feel well. I don't feel as clean as I do with bidets. Ever since I switched to bidets, I can't go back. It's just impossible for me to go back. This is going to be all of you. All of you are going to see that with bidets, with water, this is the natural part of your body. Your body is 60% water, yet you are denying yourself what is natural.
Okay, follow-up question. Would you recommend other people to use bidets? And if you do, what are some factors that would encourage them to use bidets in place of toilet paper?
What do you think? Of course, I recommend that everyone else use bidet. Now, even if you don't have any sort of disability or cultural restriction, I still think that it's better to use bidets. Why? Well, as we've explained, toilet paper has numerous chemicals, as these people have explained. And toilet paper, in comparison to bidets, there's a higher risk of diseases that could go into your areas.
Now, before we do the AS, I'm going to do another thing. To demonstrate the power of bidets, we'd have Mr. Mohit Gill over here do 30 push-ups to demonstrate.
Wait, what, you
yes,
told him?
You
told him? I'm not doing it.
I'm doing it.
Okay,
Okay.
I don't even know if I can. No, you're doing it. I can't do it. Come on.
I
Okay,
see him come up here. You're strong, bro.
Fine,
I know
I'll
you're
do it.
strong, bro.
Okay, now the whole point of this is to show how bidets may factor in to him feeling more ready.
I love bidets so much that they have given me the power to right now do 20 push-ups.
We're
And while I do that-
we're going to
and
play
while I
this AI
do
song.
that, the
While he
AI
does
song.
this.
So I want you all to connect to the power of bidets and feel inspired. Inspired by this song, inspired by me, inspired by Hansla and his ice cream.
And
That
every
sounds
push-up,
beautiful.
for every
Every
push-up he
push-up.
does, that symbolizes
The power of bidets.
the
Bidets
struggle
don't
that
do
we
it.
went through to put bidets into the school. We have tried so long to convince everyone to get bidets. With so many people have been doubting us. They've been doubting the power of the bidets. Him doing push-ups is to symbolize we are resilient. With bidets, we are resilient. We are going back to our natural roots. We are nature. Bidets will succeed.
Yeah!
Yes! Bidets! Woo! Alright, we're gonna play the song. Do as many push-ups as you can. Do like 15 or so, I don't care. The bidet! The song gotta pronounce it bidet, just ignore that.
Nothing's fresh like Bidets. If you think you're fresh, it's not okay. Rushing down the road, yellow with the gray.
Look at this man!
an animal, bro.
Make me cray, make me cray, cray, cray.
He don't do his homework, but he does his push-ups.
Nothing fresh like Bidets. Toilet paper fresher, what a lie. That's about as real as a tear coming from my eye. I never cry, that's not a lie.
It is not just my sense we're dedicated. Boys, girls, we all still want to go to failure.
Everyone, cheer for Gordon.
Left.
We try. We persevere. We don't back down.
Control your bowels, what I've been told. It's so hard
If anyone else is passion for Bidets, we encourage you to come up here. And you must be all over your head. Come on here. Ready? Narrow. Get it. Come on, everyone. Here we go.
How many?
No incentive. He is showing the perseverance of all of us. We will all get the nation coming to the school, no matter what it takes, no matter who we have to talk to. We will get the nation. Oh yeah. This is how passionate you are about the day. Oh yeah. This is how passionate you are about the day.
Now, since we all understand.
There's more? That wasn't the end?
Everyone the petition, even though the project is over, this is not just, oh, I'm doing this project for school. No, I actually want this. And I hope all of you do too.
So anyone who loves Bidets as much as we do, as much as Jenin does, as much as Mr. Rizom does,
As much as I do.
as much as he does, you don't have to dunk your head in ice cream or anything like that. You don't have to do push-ups. We're just asking you to please sign the petition so you can convince the school to do what is right and understand that bidet is the only way and install bidet attachments to every parking lot.
Thank you. Just pass it around. If there's not enough, then I'll just get another blank piece.
All right, guys, clap it up. Nice job, man. Does anyone here have a question for the bidet group? Anyone have a question for the bidet group?
Yes.
How long have you been using the bidet?
I've been using it for about, I think, 2 years, 1.5 years, around there.
You?
Yeah, same thing. Like 2 years ago,
Since you was born? Since you was born. So,
he was born. Like, he was a baby.
Yes, yes.
so you come out the womb having
He was raised in the bed.
He was raised in the
He was raised in the bidets. Any other suggestions, comments, concerns, whatever?
Questions? Anything?
I love it.
Thank you, Darren.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.